Facing Waves is brought to you in part by Jackson Kayak. One family, many waters. Visit us online at jacksonkayak.com. Welcome back to Facing Waves. This week we're in Mexico's Veracruz state with the Jackson Kayak team, exploring the steep creeks that flow into the Gulf of Mexico.
Usually when I'm coming down here in Mexico and Tlacopan and basically just traveling around this area, I'm usually with Rafa Ortiz or someone like that who has a hostel or a house around here, or just somewhere to stay. But the last few trips we've actually been coming down to Adventure Wreck here in Tlacopan.
Adventure Wreck has like a big common area where they serve food for everybody. They've got cabins, tent camping. They've got a bunch of vehicles and drivers that they can use for shuttles. And very few places in the world where a raft company has adapted and become like a kayaker's haven. And Adventure Wreck has done that. They've literally set their whole business up for this time of year around the kayakers coming down here.
You get off the river, come back, dinner's ready for you, and it's really easy for kayakers to come here and to paddle all the classic whitewater, and just a gorgeous location. Yeah, I couldn't say enough about it. I love it.
So one cool thing about being based out of here in Adventure Wreck in Tlacopan is that this is where a lot of different kayakers come together. It's really easy to find people to paddle with and stuff like that. And on this trip, a friend of mine who's here is actually, he's an ice climber, basically. He has a lot of experience with ropes and everything, all the climbing aspects. And we decided to take advantage of that and have him come down and help out a few of us to run Tamata more than once, because usually you run it once and then you hike out, kind of a scary, slippery, just interesting place to get out.
The challenging part of the falls, besides running it safely and well, is the fact that you drop down and you're about 70 feet in a canyon with very difficult to get out. They got this guy Dylan who has climbing equipment. He said, maybe if you could ascend out, I've got ascenders. And they decided, okay, we're gonna set up ropes and we're gonna ascend up the thing and we can make it quicker. We'll have people pull up our boats. We'll be able to do 10 laps.
We've had to come up with a better system of getting your boats and yourselves back up to the top. So we're setting up a rope off a tree on river left, where you get out in kind of a boily little ledge and try to ascend up the cliffside on a rope that we're setting up right now, and should be able to pull boats up after ourselves, and they should be able to go and do it relatively quickly.
Set the ropes up, got everything ready, got a few camera angles, and then started running the waterfall. System works. We're a little later in the afternoon. We'd like to be out after one lap, but had a good first lap, and Nick, Jordan, and I ran it, and we're gonna get some more. I think we can probably get somewhere around 5 or 6. There's a couple muddy spots on the way up, and I was like pulling a stick on me and getting mud all over me. Most drops have some form of current or movement to the lip. Tamata is actually one of the few that is actually perfectly flat water until you're at the lip. So it's a tough waterfall because people are very, even myself, you're very nervous to tilt almost right when you're about to fall. So it's a lot harder to really focus on doing the line right. Therefore, people don't like it quite as much because it's a little bit harder to nail the line.
The next day, both their biceps were torn up from doing the ascending over and over and over. But they weren't sore from the waterfall. They ran it well almost every time. It was pretty impressive.
It's just a really fun day of getting every camera angle possible, as well as doing 7 laps on a drop that most people don't even run while they're here because it's definitely an intimidating drop.
So we're here on the Alsa Seca, and we're all using the same kayak. We're using the Jackson Kayak Karma. This is a really fast creek boat. Not only is it fast just paddling along in flat water, but when you transition out of a drop into a pool, it flies out of the pool. It also has a full planing haul all the way to the stern, and this prevents the boat from squatting and hitting the brakes. Instead, when it hits a drop, it planes, keeps the bow down, and just shoots straight out. It has a lot of flare on the sidewalls, and the deck is really high up. It's got a lot of freeboard. In other words, there's a lot of sidewall out of the water that's not in play. What that does is when you put the boat on edge, it makes it very stable. It's a really good tracking boat, meaning it goes straight. It's not a super turny boat, but at the same time, because of the planing haul, especially when you get up to speed, the boat carves a really nice, smooth turn, making it predictable and easy to control. So the boats are very forgiving, very fun to paddle, which is why we're using them here in Mexico. You should definitely consider one for your next trip. Check it out.
Facing Waves is brought to you in part by Go Paddle. Join the paddling community on Facebook.